It's about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and here he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skill by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Pull is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too, with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden, Barrett, and an early touch and an excellent.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Hello and welcome to yet another wonderful episode of Sports Orbit, coming to you from the Leadership Podcast studio. Today we have a lot of exciting stories for you. We have basketball, there's plenty of football, and of course, the Premier League week 11 will be upon us this weekend. My name is Afa Acho, and I'm not alone in the studio. I also have Salif Usman here with me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be here again. Thank God it's Friday.
And also, I have Fidelis making a return after being on the sidelines. Could it be due to injury, or maybe the coach decided to put you on the bench?
For this one, you've turned me to a return king, you know. I'm always making a return on every of the show. But anyway, it is what it is. But it's really nice to be on the show with you today.
Well, nice to have you here. Well, on the show today, we'll begin with the Tigers. And the Tigers will face Cape Verde in the World Cup Qualifiers opener in Angola. And that match comes up on Friday, 26th of November in Cape Verde. Salifo, on Wednesday, FIBA confirmed that Angola will be the host country for the first window of the FIBA, basketball African qualifiers. So, what are you expecting from the Tigers this time around? Considering what happened to the Olympics, at least the Tigers came back from the Olympics, but were able to redeem themselves. Are you expecting the Tigers to, follow in the footsteps of their female counterparts?
If you talk of the Tigers are failed to follow the Tigers were supposed to redeem, had the first opportunity to redeem themselves when they went to Rwanda for the Afro basketball. Unfortunately, they couldn't do anything, although on the excuse that the big players, the NBA stars, couldn't make the competitions due to restrictions by the NBA rule that you can't play 2 competitions within some certain time, or if the league's about to start, you can't play major competition. But what we are here to understand from things that started unfolding was what we were told that time that the NBA could allow their player to participate. But up to this, just like sometimes somebody who is silent you can't predict somebody who is silent who doesn't talk. The Tigers have opened up and begin to see that they have a whole lot of issues with the NBBL.
Absolutely.
And so the Tigers refuse to speak up to today to say either they are angry with them or they are not angry with them. So let's leave it at that. But if you're talking, let's looking at the World Cup qualifiers in Angola. Talking of the chance of the Tigers, it looks somehow unpredictable in the sense that at the moment back home here, the federation is not in peace.
Exactly. And
somebody somewhere else needs to put this thing together, need to arrange their travel, arrange their preparation. And so at the moment we have federations, the NBBF the board has been dissolved, put into expiration of the tenure of the KIDA-led board, and now the election that was supposed to hold, it couldn't hold when the other federation hold their elections. The election was scheduled to hold tomorrow, and due to the infighting, and the election has been postponed again indefinitely. So indefinitely means I would not even know when and where the election is going to hold. So and we're having these competitions coming up in less than a month. So I mean, the big somehow confused how the Tigers are going to manage. But in as we wanted to employ the ministry of sport, the ministry to take over the charge. As for the secretary of the federation is still on ground, so the secretary should be able to galvanize and rally around within the ministry officials on how to ensure that they put this team together and have a good preparation for our World Cup qualifier in Angola. Because definitely would need to qualify for the World Cup.
So Fidelis, looking at the crisis in the NVBF, from one crisis to the other for almost 4 years now, just when we thought the crisis seemed to have abated, it looked like a new dimension to the crisis have opened up. Do you really think that this crisis will affect the chances of the Tigers? Do you think the Tigers have a chance of qualifying for the FIBA World Cup?
Well, see, I don't know, somehow, just going into any competition, something must come of that. Always disorganize the team, and especially this aspect of basketball in Nigeria. It's quite an area of sports in this country that we've been struggling so hard to see how they can get things together. Because apart from the Tigers, back home, a lot of people don't even know if Nigeria has a basketball league or anything. The only thing we know about is the Tigers. And it's even of recent that some people even had to know that there's even a team called the Tigers in Nigeria. So really, I really don't know what is going on with basketball in this country. Something always come up to disorganize the team, But then, if they are playing the politics of whatever it is they are playing, it shouldn't put the career of these young people at risk.
Absolutely.
This is their career. This is what will definitely pay their bills, But the more they try to gamble with their career, play politics with their career, it's going to affect them. And when these guys go out there and underperform, they'll start, we're always used to bringing up excuses. This is the reason why we blame it on this, we blame it on that. But then, you can't take away the fact that, the Tigers are one of the heavyweights. When you talk about basketball in Africa, even though they've not been able to establish themselves so much on, let's say, the bigger stage, but I believe if they can get themselves together, put the politics or whatever it is going on in the federation behind them, I hope the team will be able to get themselves together and grab a win. Because just like Salif said, we really need to win, because if you go back a few months before now, talking about the Olympics, they've already given us something they've already given us something that has spoiled our mood before now. So we hope they'll be able to reconcile their performance in the Olympics with a win in Angola.
All right, we really wish the Tigers well as they prepare for that one. Well, moving away from basketball now straight to football, where the news has reached us that ex-Super Eagles star Ojigwe has been appointed by the Abia State government as the new sports commissioner. I mean, for football fans who mature enough, who should have remembered who Ojigwe was. He was a member of that squad that Kano played alongside Kano Nwankwo, especially in the Golden Eaglet squad in 1993 that also had the likes of Wilson Oruma and the rest of them. A very brilliant squad, and I think this is some sharing news. These are the kind of things that we have always hoped for. That people who have played the game, who understand this game, should be put in this kind of positions. And good one coming from the government of Abia State, if you ask me, Salif.
Yeah, kudos. I recommended the Abia State government for taking what and picking one of their own and ex-internationals, and believe that we all should that shouldn't disappoint.
Yeah,
but sometimes being an ex-international is not enough criteria for it to be a good administrator. So what we all should that yes, what he has the opportunity that are giving to him now, he shouldn't disappoint. Why he shouldn't close door against the other ex-international, because he now be seen as a yardstick. Okay, as for the previous Super Eagles star who was given opportunity to manage as a commissioner, what did he do? People now were not good enough to be able to be police. Now, but now his position is a political appointment. That also put him as in politics. Politics are the game. So we hope that in terms of football, Abia State was one of the states that is known for football because we have a very big team in the coming from there.
Exactly.
We also have Abia World. That's the only.
Yeah.
That's the Abia State. Yes, it's the only state that have two teams in the Premier League in Nigeria, and the two teams are being sponsored by the state government. So we commended the state government for doing that. It's the only team. So at the same time, now you have the S International. You know what it takes to play the football, and I will believe that you should be able to play the politics. Because football is all about politics. You should be able to play the politics between the government and the football to ensure that the football in Abia State doesn't suffer.
Yes, your take on it, Fidelis.
For me, I think this is a step in the right direction because this is one of the challenges we've been having over time. You go and appoint a doctor to come and
man, maybe a ministry of finance or a sports ministry, for instance.
You can just imagine. So this is definitely a step in the right direction. And just like Salifu said, this is now in between sports and politics. But I just hope they will allow him to do his thing while he's the head of is the commissioner for sports in the state. I just hope they will be able to allow him to do his thing and not bring in their politics game into the whole stuff to pin him down. Because back here in Nigeria, we learn our sports the hard way. You understand? And he's one who understands all the challenges. When you talk about football in Nigeria, he understands the challenges. He understands what players are going through. So he understands everything. I believe it's quite a step in the right direction, and we just hope he will be able to to deliver and not perform below the expectations.
Just to remind you that he was also a member of the squad to the World Cup in featured for in 2004 and 2002. He was a member of the Mali 2002 that actually won bronze. And his playing career, he played for Eimba, Bayer Leverkusen, of course, a certain Borussia Mönchengladbach, if you remember, who just gave Bayern Munich 5-0 some days ago. Anyway, we say congratulations to him, and we hope that he does well in this new appointment.
Yes.
All right, moving on to still on football, where Samuel Adegbenro scored his 15th goal in the Swedish league just 2 days ago in that game against his club IFK Norrköping versus FC Jalbai. It was actually a 2-2 draw, and Adegbenro scored in that one, making him so far the highest goal scorer in that league. And Salifu, much is not really known of this young man. After I got these things, I tried to find out a bit about him, and much is not known about him. But this goes to tell you the number of players we have out there who even go out of the shores of the country to apply their trade without even the knowledge of, the football authorities. So sometimes it might just be from a club they played who might let him go. But I think now his exploits have brought him to the limelight.
Yeah, we have Nigeria is blessed with a lot of talent. We have a lot of talent. Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians scattered all around the world playing in week out for their respective clubs abroad. And at the same time, when you talk of players, Nigeria have enough players. Yeah. But our problem is that sometimes those at the helm of affairs who are supposed to identify those players to get there and put them together to make a formidable team for Nigeria. Don't even know what it takes and how to go about scouting for those players. Okay. I think yes, it's good that he's coming and playing in the Swedish league. It's not a minor league.
No, at all.
Although it may not be in the class of EPA, class of like SERIE or German Bundesliga or French league. But at least
it's a decent league.
It's a decent league and very tough. If you're playing this first, it's spawning. It will go. Yeah, that is kudos. That is kudos to him, and we hope that he'll be able to build up from there and be able to build up and hopefully one day. God sometimes somebody will feel like, okay, this guy, you need to come about so fight for his Nigeria.
So,
surely a lot of Nigerians doing us proud over there, even though we don't seem to know much of them, like you said.
Absolutely. In fact, some days ago, I heard of a player who recently got into, I can't remember which country who was playing in the league in Bangladesh. So I was surprised that Bangladesh even had a football league.
you can imagine. So, and I think one of the reasons why we don't really know much about this player is because the federation over here they don't play much role in the
transfer
growing
of,
process of these players, because a lot of them, if you get to hear that story, how they manage to smuggle themselves, out of the country into whatever team or whatever country it is they are playing. And if they tell you the story, you feel for them. That's why most times we don't even get to know that, there's a player like this. It's when they start performing that, there's a Nigerian in this team, and before you know it, and they start going, okay, and let's call this guy to come and join the national team. But then in their growing process, you play no role. But the truth is that there are lots of Nigerians doing us proud out there, and in whatever club it is they are playing for. And Adegbenro is one of them. So I just hope he continues in his form, and I wish him best in his career. I hope better club comes for him.
The challenging oftentimes is that if you took your time, or you have a boost, I think the technical expertise to that for Nigeria, we have a lot of Nigeria that are play better than those who are already playing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
But the challenge is that there is a lot of theory, even though you have right now a lot of those stories several times, a lot of this, but sometimes people don't even take it. Those are even though if I write it tomorrow or make noise about it tomorrow, they don't give a damn. If not, and most of the players we have in the national team, if you dig out how they make their way to the national team, is
of course that's story for another day. Exactly.
A lot of things pass under the bridge.
Sure.
And at the same, that is why you see sometimes a player that cannot even merit to sit on the bench of Enyiba. You see them in the national team because setting one agent. Because most of the players in the national team, except those who are already at the top there, where you cannot overlook them, some of those agents somewhere finance them to get there. That's why briberies and all kinds of General and all those they're making a hell of something from the national, apart from the ways they're collecting. So agent influencing, this is my player, that's my player, this is my player, that's my player. Even from that is even from the underage competition down to the Super Eagles, we have a lot of agents manipulating to have their player in the national team. And that is because of that. One time you have heard the story, the players coming out to confess that they are asking me to play this amount. That is why they are not inviting me. Even those are playing the national team. So it came to a time that they say they asked me to part away with this because I refuse to pay. They are not inviting me again. Those stories don't just with it, they are all true. They are all true. Those stories are all there.
Well, so that's we wish Adegbenro well. And we hope that the God of football will smile on him one day and he'll get to find himself playing for the Eagles. But we'll come back to that. At this point, we'll go on a short break. But meanwhile, we have a lot in store for you. Osimhen is still in news. We have news about Chukwueze also. Of course, there's a new Nigerian player who has just been promoted to train with the senior side of Arsenal. Of course, we have the weekend's Premier League review. All that and much more we'll give you when we come back from this break. Don't go nowhere.
It's about to go down.
It's lovely pass. Emery turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skill by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricardo is inching into the lead. And Ricardo, that win the Italian Grand Prix.
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too, with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix. Ricardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden, Barrett down, an early touch and an excellent.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Welcome back to Sports Orbit, coming to you live from the Leadership Podcast studio. Our next story is about Chukwueze, where the Villarreal boss, Emery, has come out to say that Chukwueze, having been out for a while, was out for 4 months through injury. But he said that from what he has seen him doing training, that he feels that Chukwueze will soon come back to his very best, the form he had before he went on injury. This is good news for Villarreal and also good news for the Super Eagles.
Well, we know Chukwueze is a very fine player. We call him Star Boy over here. He's a very fine player, and I'm very sure the injury has really affected his form. Injury has affected his form, and even the Villarreal team, is obvious they have really missed Chukwueze in the past 4 months while he has been on injury. And it is certain, when you return from injury, it's a gradual process. You don't just return to your best all of a sudden. It's a gradual process, and it's good that the coach acknowledged that Chukwueze is a fine player, and there is as well giving him the support he needs to recover and come back to his best as he used to be. But we know he's a very fine player, and the only thing to take is just time. A little time, and he's going to definitely come back to his best, and even become better than he used to be.
All right, moving on, still on to football, and Osimhen is in the news again. Napoli played a match yesterday in which they won, and at this point they are, level on points with AC Milan at the SERIE table. Osimhen featured prominent in that game, though he didn't. What was he on score sheet? But he was fouled twice, which led to a penalty, which gave them an advantage. Seems like every week Osimhen is always in the news. If he's not scoring, he's helping to create, or be involved in something that gives his team the lead.
No, even before the match, if you look at the accolades showered on him by the Bologna coach, see that Osimhen is one of he's even the most dangerous players in Serie A.
Completely right now on current form.
And when you try to mark, because most of the defenders in most of the club in the Serie A, once they are playing against Napoli, their focus is on Osimhen. And once they try to cancel him to mark him down, all he tries to do is to create chances. When that is a mark of a big star. Because when you make sure that as a mark of you ensure that the opposing defense couldn't hold you completely down. Yes, they are because all their focus is on you, try to cancel you, not to ensure that they prevent you. But in the process, you use that opportunity, you create chance for your opponent to score, but that's what you have seen do in the last 2 matches. Now, because he is going and all the focus now is on him. Anytime he's going to play, all the defenders' eyes are on him. And because he couldn't, it's good that he's a good player. He's not trying to be a selfish player. If he couldn't score, he create chances for good. So Osimhen has become a nightmare for all the Italian defense, and it's good that we hope that our player he continue to maintain this form, continue to sustain this level, because we are all proud as a Nigerian when you heard of your own compatriot doing well in another man's land. So it's a pressure that if you go to it's a pressure. Sometimes, like several people say, if you travel from Nigeria, the only way you can recognize when you say we are from Nigeria, the person coach, that's a so we are coming to Adegbenro now. If you are in Italy for now, say you are from Nigeria, they say Osimhen. So that is good, and we pray that injuries will not locate him. Injuries will not find him anywhere. Because he suffered injury last season, we pray that injuries should not find anywhere. Because we need him to maintain this consistent going to the Nations Cup in January.
Still on Nigerian players abroad, where reports reaching us suggest that a defensive midfielder, Tim Akionla, who has come through the ranks at Arsenal, has been given promoted to actually train with the first team by Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. I mean, like we just spoke about Adegbenro not long ago. Now we are hearing of another young player who has been in the system, in the academic system at Arsenal, and he has been just promoted to train with the first team. Good one, I think. Just like you said earlier, if not that Arteta came out to promote these youngsters into the senior team. I never knew there was anybody called Team Akinola
in Arsenal. But for him to be considered for promotion, it means he has definitely be performing well in the lower team. And talking about the finance aspect, Arsenal, everyone knows them to be a business-minded team. Even those, yeah, sure. If you talk about football in England, they are one of the teams that believes in using youngsters, bring them, develop them, and sell them to other clubs, make the profit. If you can't get if you can't claim the cup, then you have to find a way to as well make money from the league. And that is one of the things they are doing. And considering the way the Arsenal team is now, they need some of these young players to come into the team, bring in some fresh blood into the team. Look at the likes of Bukayo Saka. Absolutely. There is no way you mention the Arsenal team whenever they perform well. There's no way you give credit to the team without specifically considering Bukayo Saka as one of the best players in the team. And if you want to liken them to Barcelona now, look at most of the clubs now that are bringing in youngsters. There is this freshness they all have in it, even though some of them are still struggling in some aspects. But there's this freshness that comes into the team. So I think it's a good one for Arteta. As well, it's also good for the career of the 5 youngsters that have been promoted. If you have done well, you need to be rewarded. And I'm sure they've been doing well, and it's time to reward them by bringing them into the senior team. And I hope they continue to do well, because that's the only way they can grow, and better clubs will as well come for them.
Right. Wish the young man well, and we hope when it's time for him to choose a country to represent this time around, unlike Bukayo Saka, he will choose Nigeria.
And I hope Pindi is always playing that he's monitoring.
Absolutely, very, very important.
Yeah,
exactly.
Very soon you have a private trip to
exactly to go. Yes. All right. Still staying right there in England. This time all the way to Manchester, where former Manchester United striker Berbatov is really pushing for Conte to make the switch to Old Trafford, because he believes that for United to go back to winning ways to be champions again, he believes that Conte has all it takes to bring the mentality and everything needed to this club.
But unfortunately, Dimitar Berbatov cannot influence.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people have been suggesting different coaches, but right now, from the short list of coaches up until this morning, Conte was ahead in the race. Until this morning, a certain Brendan Rodgers was also thrown into the picture, who is now seen to be the favorite because of us. Course,
Brendan Rodgers is going to leave Leicester.
I mean, like we said, if people leave things at the end of the as long as you can pay Leicester the settlement, that's all. But from their short list, he was not even in contention. But of today, this morning, he was thrown into the picture. But a section of United fans are saying, no, we want a coach who is proven, who has won titles. But if you ask me, Brendan Rodgers won the FA Cup with Leicester City, won also the league in Scotland with Rangers. But a section of United fans feel Conte is the man.
Well, it's like most of the United fans are.
No, they are actually divided.
I'm getting the idea of
right now, the club from the hierarchy of from the short list, Zidane is like number 5 on the short list. There's a certain name I even saw today, one Palmer, who I don't even know where he's from, and United fans were like, "Who is he? Please, we don't want a repeat of Ole. If Ole is going, is Conte we want." But some are saying, "Okay, we can manage Rodgers," but right now Conte is leading the
if you talk of Conte, just like Berbatov says, Conte has proved to be the title winner. Yeah. He did it to Chelsea. He went to Inter Milan within 1 season. He did it for a very long time. For a very time, Inter Milan was even forgotten about this.
Inter Milan having won the league in 10 years.
Inter Milan seemed like nobody would remember them again because Gilberto coming to become a dominant,
Absolutely.
right? Until
Absolutely.
Conte come to bring that gist within that 10 years, and then within a day he was able to get Inter Milan the title. And then he achieved the same feat with Chelsea. Now he did it with and if he coming to the Premiership, he's not the Premiership.
Not at all.
He has already played around all the ground in Premier League and club. So
he understands
definitely he
the-
understands the nitty-gritty of how to play in the Premier League. Although the setting up in Chelsea and Manchester United, they are
Quite
different,
different,
but
yeah.
it's the same Premier League and the same competition.
absolutely.
So definitely Conte has what it is. Those fans who are voting for Conte to come. If you look at if you look at among the pending of the clubs who are being just like apart from the Giden, nobody has been proven as a better winner.
Absolutely.
So definitely, I believe Conte is also hungry for title, and you also want to come back to the Premier League. But there was even a linking for him to come into Arsenal, but unfortunately, Arsenal management are too like Arteta to take the decisions, and so if you get to Man U, that would be a good bonus for Premier Man U.
For me, I think one person I really have to commend in this whole saga concerning Ole is the person of Alex Ferguson. No, that man has really shown that you can actually leave a club and still have so much influence.
Of course, he's a member of the board.
Sure,
A powerful member of the board.
It's a
if it were for some other coaches before now, I'm sure United would have long sacked that coach. But you see, I don't know how.
No, the thing was the
Alex
story.
Ferguson seems to be so
Yeah,
interested.
the story we had was he didn't want a situation where Ole will be disgraced out of the club. So the truth is, whether Ole likes it or not, he is gone. But they want a situation where he lives honorably. So they don't want a situation where, like after the Liverpool game, they fire him on the spot. But what the people keep saying was, if he was a different coach who had never had ties with United, I'm sure he would have been fired on the spot.
Yeah, sure.
But they felt, okay, you're a United legend, let's give you some respect. We'll just dismiss you honorably. We'll make too much noise about it. Just take charge of the Tottenham and probably the Atalanta game. Then from there, we'll take a final decision. So, and Ferguson was instrumental in that intervention.
How about Ole finishes the league, the season as a United coach?
It's very, very unlikely.
It's very unlikely.
Very, very unlikely.
Don't forget as it stands. Don't forget as it stands.
Very unlikely.
The
the truth is, the fans are not with him anymore. So anyway, still on to the Premier League, where still speaking of United, which they have a very, very tough test also with another side who has also been struggling too, whose coach too is also under fire, and that is Tottenham. So a quick rundown. Of course, this weekend there are a lot of testing matches here. Of course, Leicester City will be at home to Arsenal. Burnley, Brentford, Liverpool will welcome Brighton and Hove. Man City will be against Crystal Palace, Newcastle United, Chelsea, Watford, Southampton, Tottenham Hotspur versus United, Norwich City, Leeds United, Aston Villa, West Ham United. So quickly, your predictions.
Well, it's like Arsenal have their hands full this weekend against
That's a match to watch too.
Against a Leicester team,
and they are playing at the King Power Stadium.
A team that they also having the win from the back into their squad. So Arsenal should watch out. Maybe that is going to be a cracker to watch.
Absolutely.
And at the same time, just like you say, Tottenham, Manchester United, both coach who are looking to bounce back to the winning way. So even Tottenham, the coach also have this is a new coach that just came on board, and he's also struggling. He need to prove himself. And then the minister Ole, the way everybody has started calling him Ole. So there are people Ole. So let's hope that he will be able to use this Tottenham match to redeem himself and not to be disgraced out of the
Absolutely.
I strongly play for him, and also I want the players not disappointed. They should, sometimes these players once they gag up,
they're fed up
against and they gag up against, there's nothing to do about it.
Absolutely.
But I still want a situation where the players should not forgetting that yes, Manchester United is not all about Ole. It's an institution, so they need to protect the image of that institution. They shouldn't, because of their frustration or whatever anger they have against Ole, and allow the team to just suffer in that. Because if they lose the match, if they lose to Tottenham again, that is dropping 6 points within the team, and those points you are dropping will definitely going to matter at the end of the. So they should come out strong and play this match. So I definitely, just like Tottenham also come out, even on Tottenham, it's like the strong man there, Harry Kane, is not comfortable of not allowing him to go out of that to go to Manchester United because he has not been too effective in this season.
Yeah.
And sometimes that is why it's not good. It's not good to force player to stay. If the player want to go, allow him to go.
Absolutely.
So for me, I think I will concentrate on the match between Tottenham and Manchester United. You know, I think that match will actually be Ole will be the most pressured coach at the weekend as it stands now, because it's so unfortunate for him that at a time like this in his career, he still had they were matched against a team as Tottenham. If it were a smaller team, that would have been a walkover for him. But now he's going.
United have always struggled away to Tottenham. He's
going away to Tottenham. That even makes it worse. And Tottenham, to those ones, they will try whatever they can do.
Results too.
They are so desperate for results too. So I just hope Ole will be able to, bring a positive result out of that match. And Chelsea also will be playing against the Newcastle United side, a team that's with the change of ownership now. Even though they've not been able to get some players, but they've got this little boost in their confidence going into matches now. I think Chelsea also will find it difficult. Then Arsenal, we have to pray for them.
All right. For now, this is where we slam the brakes on today's episode of Sports Orbit. Hopefully by Monday, we'll come back, give you a fresh package and do a review of all these matches. And hopefully, against all odds, hopefully there will be good outcomes. Thank you, Salifu, for being with me in the studio today.
Thank you.
And also, Fidelis, thank you for having you around again.
Thank you, Master.
All right. Until we come your way again on Monday with another fresh and exciting episode of Sports Orbit. My name is Afa Acho, your host for today, and I'm saying bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.